urban artificial intelligence, strategic thinking media platform. Pooh Shiesty, Gucci Mane, Big 30. All right, the saga is continuing. It's getting crazier and crazier, man. Now, we all know what was alleged. Pooh Shiesty, Big 30, they both got arrested. We've even seen pictures of Big 30 on the yard at the prison. A crazy, crazy situation. Something that I never would imagine in hip hop history that I would ever see something like this. All right, two artists allegedly arrested for kidnapping and robbing at gunpoint. Their CEO allegedly took six figures in jewelry. All right, now when this first happened, when this story first broke, to me it seemed like Pooh Shiesty and Big 30 was both cooked. All right, that's how I felt. That's the vibe that I got. It seemed like, even though it wasn't a whole lot of concrete evidence, it seemed like this was something that definitely happened. It was an active investigation. The way that the bloggers was talking about it, some other news sources, some people off the record were speaking about it. It seemed like that this is something that definitely happened. Again, they took six figures in jewelry. It seemed like there was cooked. Pooh Shiesty's father was involved, as well as like five or six other people. All right, now Hernandez Govan, the guy who, he got deep ties in the Memphis streets. He was the man who was allegedly responsible for getting Young Dolph killed. Now, he wasn't convicted of that. He was found not guilty. A lot of people believe he kind of got off and he was involved with it. We don't know. But he was one of the first people to break this story. All right. He was one of the first people to talk about it. A lot of people said it was cap when he spoke about it. All right. They said it was cap. He also the first person, once the story was confirmed true, and it was confirmed true because the Texas police got involved. It was an indictment, and it was a warrant out for Pooh Shiesty and Big 30 for the robbery. All right, now, once that happened, Govan spoke to DJ Academics again, and he told him later today some bombshell news is going to drop. And as we've seen, that's what happened. It was a bombshell about Pooh Shiesty's father. Allegedly, he was cooperating years ago, and they are saying he may even cooperate in this situation. I don't know. I'm not calling Pooh Shiesty dad a snitch. I have no clue what he's going to do. I don't know his legal strategy. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if he's snitched in the past. But I brought up that point just to lend credit to Hernandez Govan. He's somebody who he been on point about some of the stuff, y'all. He been on point about a lot of the details of this whole situation. Now, the way the bloggers and some other media outlets was talking about this, even Hernandez Govan himself, they all kind of told the same story. All right. So when the paperwork came out and it matched everybody's story, for the most part, most of these somewhat credible bloggers, when it matched their story, people agreed there got to be footage. All right, it's got to be video footage of this somewhere. Now we're hearing different information about the footage. First, people were saying there was no footage. Then they were saying they disabled the cameras, so it was an inside job. The people at the studio helped. Then we also heard that Big 30 broke the footage of Gucci Man changing the contract, and we're gonna speak on that a little bit later. Big 30 broke the footage or the phone that had the video evidence of the whole robbery, getting Gucci Man to sign over certain rights back to Pooh Shiesty, or him relieving himself of, being over Pooh Shiesty's career. However, the contract was set up, allegedly it was some bullshit, and Gucci had him in a bad contract for a very long time. We also heard Yo Gotti's name associated with the situation very early when it happened. We heard that he was getting out of this to get in a situation with Yo Gotti. All right, we was thinking, is this Yo Gotti with the get back at Gucci Man? Remember Gucci, once he fell out with Yo Gotti, he started signing all kind of Memphis artists. Some of them he didn't even develop. That was a situation that Govan spoke on as well, and it made a lot of people in the streets of Memphis look at Gucci a certain way. All right, it was a lot of these young Memphis artists who they thought they was gonna blow. They thought they was gonna make a lot of money with 1017. They looked up to Gucci, the type of music he make, the environment that he from. They looked up to Gucci, and come to find out, he was basically just using them to get at Yo Gotti, to make Yo Gotti mad. He signed up a lot of Memphis artists, a lot of Memphis talent, and he really didn't do anything with it. He used them as pawns. A lot of people didn't agree with that, and they felt like not only is that morally not right, but that's not even good business, man. Get in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about that. We also heard Pooh Shiesty and his team wasn't happy with how Gucci handled the whole Big Scar situation. When Big Scar, rest in peace to him, had an accidental overdose. A lot of people on that side was saying Gucci Mane seemed more concerned about getting his 1017 chain back than actually being there for Big Scar and his family. Now, I think it was Big Scar's father eventually did come out and say Gucci Mane did send about 10,000, and I think Atlantic sent 10,000, so they got 20,000 to cover his funeral. So he was laid to rest respectfully. Salute to whoever was involved in that. But I think the family just wanted more from Gucci, not even just after he passed, but before. From what I'm hearing, everybody was kind of frustrated with Gucci Mane from a record label standpoint. All right, from a CEO standpoint, his artists, they was frustrated with him. They didn't like how things was going. They all felt like things should be moving quicker, and they felt like he wasn't as hands-on as he advertised when he first signed him over. Now back to the present situation. We getting some news saying that Gucci Mane is gonna identify, or he has identified, Pooh Shiesty and Big 30, and it is paperwork backing this up. I'm not calling Gucci a snitch. I don't know if he cooperated with the police. I'm not sure. I'm going by the paperwork that's on the internet. This paperwork is saying that the story is coming from a man named RD's point of view. We know Gucci Mane's government name is Roderick Davis. It's also telling how much the jewelry that RD is wearing is worth. That's something that he would have to tell the police. Nobody else can tell the police how much your items are worth. He's allegedly, the main guy in the situation. He's basically the guy in the paperwork that everybody is working for. The cameraman got robbed. Some other security guards got robbed. Their boss is RD. Obviously, Gucci Mane is the boss of the people who was in the room. So everything points to RD being Gucci Mane. We don't know for sure. We don't know if Gucci Mane is going to testify. All that is going to come later down the road. We'll find that out way later. This is just a crazy situation, man. It's been a crazy situation every step of the way. Pooh Shiesty's lawyer did come out and say that there's, no video evidence. Speaking about that earlier, we thought it was video evidence. During a press conference, one of the lead detectives was answering questions. A question came about the video evidence that they have of Pooh Shiesty and Big 30 actually being engaged in an armed robbery. It's no evidence of that. So they don't have no evidence, no video evidence of a robbery. There is other electronic and tech evidence, though. It's GPS evidence. It's other footage and surveillance evidence that shows all these guys together. It shows that they came from Memphis. It shows the guys traveling from Memphis to Texas, then back all together. So it is some other evidence that may be kind of hard for them to navigate around if that's their legal strategy. We just gonna have to stay informed. I'm gonna keep y'all in the loop, man. Let me know what y'all think about this though. Should Gucci identify Big 30 and Pooh Shiesty? Was it business? Gucci Mane said in the song that he dropped, it was a diss. A lot of people calling that snitching too. They're saying that's dry snitching. He is talking about a crime that is going on, an active investigation. All right, he did say he signed a contract under duress. That could be looked at as telling. All right, saying he went in there for business. A lot of people feel like that's him kind of already setting up the play to tell, because he's letting us know right now, hey, I'm on the business side of this. This was a business deal. I thought this was a business deal. That's him setting up the tell. I want y'all to tell me what y'all think about this, man. If you was in a business situation and somebody in your business robbed you, would you tell? Would you not tell? Is it okay to tell? Should you not tell? Let me know, man. How's this going to end, man? Urban Artificial Intelligence, strategic thinking media platform. I'm going to see y'all in the next episode. Peace.